Okay, good afternoon. Now we are going to discuss the next bracha on Shemana Esrei, the 14th bracha, which is bracha v'li Yerushalayim ercha. There's a lot to discuss in this bracha, but I'm just going to discuss the end of the bracha, the me'ein chasima, and the chasima of the bracha. So we've discussed before, the me'ein chasima is usually the summary of the bracha, and that's toward the end of the bracha, right before we say Baruch Atah Hashem, which is the chasima, the ending of the bracha, and then we really say what the bracha is about. So this bracha happens to be very interesting in its me'ein chasima and chasima. It's different than the rest of the brachas of Shemana Esrei, and that is because we ended off. We say in the me'ein chasima, we say Chisei David mehera l'saychatachin, to establish the throne of David, and then we end off and we say Baruch Atah Hashem b'nei Yerushalayim. So first we're talking about the throne of David, and then we're talking about building of Yerushalayim. So it's very unique. Usually the summation and the ending are very similar and they are linked, but here they're not so. So there is a very strong connection between the kingship of David HaMelech and the building of Yerushalayim. But still, we have to try to understand: can the throne of David, the Chisei David, can that really count as the Me'ein Chasima? So in Yerushalmi, there happens to be a version where it combines the two. It says to build Yerushalayim and to establish the throne of David. So according to that Yerushalmi, and then ends off with Baruch Atah Hashem, and it says the God of David who builds Yerushalayim. So according to that Yerushalmi, it's really not a problem. But that's not what we say today. But nevertheless, there is a strong connection between the throne of David and building Yerushalayim. The Bach, just to point out, and we're going to cover more about David in the next bracha, Be'ezras Hashem Yisbarach, in our next video. But for now, I just want to point out a Bach that says that the Chisei David really is the Me'ein Chasima, because the purpose of building Yerushalayim, the Bach says, is to be the seat of the throne of David's kingship. So it seems that that's exactly the point that we want to make, and that's exactly the point of the bracha, that the purpose of building Yerushalayim was just so that the Malchus David can rest in Yerushalayim. Just to also point out, Rabbi Avram ben Hagra explains that we conclude in the present tense. We say B'nei Yerushalayim, who builds Yerushalayim, and that is because Hashem builds his city currently in the present tense. Hashem is building his holy city at every given point in time. And Shmelkem Nikolsburg adds to this. He says that whatever man perfects, it always impacts the building of Yerushalayim Shalmaila, stone by stone, and that's why we say B'nei Yerushalayim in the present tense, because it's being built bit by bit every single day. And the explanation of V'harenu b'vinyanai v'samchenu b'tzikunai, show us the construction and make us happy when it's restored, and he explains that to mean is that he should show us in our mind what we're accomplishing in the restoration of the city. And in this manner, we'll be so happy because we'll see that actions that we're doing right now are affecting the building of Yerushalayim Shalmaila right now as we speak. May we all be Zaycha to see this.